First, though, some breaking news on the level of COVID restrictions in the county. Parts of Nottinghamshire will go into Tier 3 from this Thursday. Even today, sources close to the talks told Nottingham's local Democracy reporter that it was not a done deal. Tomorrow, though, the councils affected, this is Nottingham, Nottinghamshire, Gedling, Rushcliffe and Broxtowe, will announce the deal that they have now agreed with the government. A financial support package similar to that agreed in other areas has also been decided upon. Jake Brigstock has been following the talks today. He's on the line now. Jake, I've been in this limbo where every day I've been waking up thinking, will it be today or not? It's today. We know. What is the latest?
Indeed it is, and good evening, Owen. Following the second day of talks, as you mentioned today, Nottingham City, Broxtowe, Gedling and Rushcliffe councils all published a joint statement less than half an hour ago it was now, confirming that those areas of Nottingham and the county will move into the Tier 3 restrictions. Now, the measures have been announced and they will come into effect at 1 minute past midnight this Thursday. And the new measures, it said in the statement that the new measures will expire in 28 days, as is the case as we've seen with other areas of the country going into Tier 3 restrictions, but that the areas that are moving into Tier 3 will be kept under constant review so that they're not in that tier for any longer than they need to be.
What does this mean? If you live in Nottingham, if you live in Gedling, Broxtowe, Rushcliffe, what does this mean for you and your life?
As we know, Tier 3 means that it's the very high restriction rate. At present, it's the highest possible lockdown that government can place areas in. Now, that means that no pubs or bars can open unless they serve meals. Regardless of the curfew, they will be closed. Households will be banned from mixing indoors or in private or social gardens. And the rule of 6 will apply in outdoor spaces, and there's guidance against people travelling in or out of the area. Now, of course, each area has its own unique set of circumstances, and the package of local measures will be announced in full tomorrow. And some of these measures could include individual venues being closed and the financial support that is set to be outlined by government. Now, this is also that a sustained reduction in the rate of COVID can be achieved. It's designed to help protect the vulnerable residents and the NHS and social care services where possible, and that's the main focus of it. That's why we didn't see the highest level come in earlier on when rates in the city of Nottingham and surrounding areas were higher than what they are now. It's because the rate in older people is still increasing, and that's a concern, with older people more likely to be admitted to hospital if you have COVID.
I almost interrupted you in mid-flow there, Jake. What I was going to ask was that it's been 10 days since we first heard that new restrictions might be coming in. 10 days ago, we heard that MPs were going to be meeting with government. It's carried on. Some of these talks have happened, some of them haven't happened. What's been stopping getting this agreement over the line?
Now, we understand that the delays have been caused in terms of agreeing that local package that we talked about. Like we said, there's kind of like there's the blanket Tier 3 and what it means, but of course then there are the local measures, and what we understand is what has been so heavily debated. There were some reports that suggested that there was quite a bit of local opposition to some of the measures that government wanted to introduce to Nottingham and the surrounding areas. And even heading into the meeting and the talks today, this was day 2 of the talks, and it wasn't a clear cut or a done deal heading into the meeting by any stretch of the imagination. Now, bear in mind, talks on Friday lasted for around 3 to 4 hours, and there wasn't any announcement from that. We were just told that talks would recommence today, and of course they did at around 3 p.m, and it was a couple of hours before we heard anything from that. And yeah, the reported reasons stretched to the local deal, so that will mean financial support, what venues will close, and those details were thrashed out and seem to have been agreed, and we'll find out more as we mentioned earlier. We'll find out more of what that means tomorrow.
Jake, we've not got long left. I'm just going to knock off some key details before we go. The areas affected: Nottingham, Broxtowe, Gedling, Rushcliffe. Tier 3 restrictions from 1 minute past midnight on Thursday. We expect those initially to last for a period of 28 days, but that will be reviewed. Thanks very much, Jake. Very thorough, very precise, and I'll speak to you soon.